There's a myriad of mysterious items that can be found in the labyrinth beneath Tristram. Some guide their wielders to new heights, while others drag them down to the hellish depths, and then there's some that are just kind of there. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Farzy, Salty VTuber, and this is the next episode of Diablo 1 Unique Items, and today we'll be talking about one of those, the Ice Shank. Now, since it's been a while since I last uploaded one of these, I'm going to give a quick refresher on how this works for those of you who are new to the channel or are just returning. I do a general overview of the weapon, then go over each of its unique properties individually, and list off whether it's got a unique sprite, item quality, finally how to best utilize it, and then ranking. So, the Ice Shank is a unique longsword that uses a stock sprite, fair enough. It's got the same damage, 1 to 10, same stat requirements, 30 strength, 30 dexterity, and its unique properties are as following. Plus 10 to strength, plus 40 to fire resistance, and altered item durability, that being 15, and it is item quality 3, with the base item being quality 6. And for those of you who don't know what this is, basically item quality is usually determined by dungeon depth, character level, and usually by the type of monster that drops it. That's why a lot of the time unique monsters always drop, well, magical items, and they only rarely drop unique items. So you're not going to be finding this one right away. I actually found this one during the Torn Flesh of Souls video on the Cathedral level 3, with my character being at level 11, and I had a gay old time with it. Anyways, breakdown time. The plus 10 to strength is pretty straightforward. Massive strength bonus, which in turn allows some extra bonus damage. From what I can tell, it's plus 1 for every 10 points of strength. Nothing really super special, though it does come in handy for ending fights that much sooner. The 40% fire resistance is actually pretty damn nice, reducing overall fire damage, obviously. Though, given how early on you're likely to find it, unless the RNG says fuck you and throws magma demons at you in the catacombs early mid-game, you're really not going to see any enemies using fire attacks outside of a specific quest, Czar the Mad. This comes into play when fighting. Don't get me wrong, it's handy to have, but don't count it being overly helpful. At least, not in the part of the game you're in. Altered item durability, honestly, this isn't as bad as it sounds. Longswords normally have durability 30, this has 15, so half or the same as a basic dagger. It's not horrible, you'll spend a little bit more time in town, as you'll need to do more frequent maintenance, but you're not breaking the bank. So how do you best utilize this? As a warrior, you're going to get the most out of this item, obviously, though when you find it, you're usually going to have a decent strength, so it's not game-changing, but the extra damage is a nice bonus, and the fact you can focus on putting things into like vitality and dexterity, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. The rogue obviously isn't going to have much use for it. A sorcerer may be able to get some use out of it, particularly the strength bonus, as he can now wear heavier armor. Though unless you're willing to invest in some stat boosting items, you're going to have to give up at least 6 levels of stats to be able to use it, which keeps points out of magic, something you need to invest heavily in early game, as you will eventually hit a plateau where your exponential growth finally slows, and investing in the wrong stats will bite you in the ass and leave you floundering. My advice for the latter two classes is sell it for a tidy sum and get a new bow spellbook, and even then the warrior may end up getting access to something better via drop or shop, even if you do find this. What's my final verdict? As far as a lot of unique items go in this game, the Ice Shank is a solid C-grade item. Its attributes, aside from the altered item durability, which really isn't that much of an issue, are decent but not game-changing. The extra damage from the strength bonus is nice to have. Fire damage really doesn't come into play until late mid-game, if it comes in at all outside of the final level. And even then, by the time it does start coming into play, you're likely going to have access to much more potent items. If anything, the only real flaw the Ice Shank has is the fact it suffers from just being the average sum of its parts. It's overshadowed by a lot of common items, and even some of its unique brethren are gonna outrank it. Anyways, I've been Farzy, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.